Hello there, good morning all. It's me again, lovely Sunday morning. Big congratulations to Rosie Dunfield for resigning as a position as a Labour MP. And the reason being, oh my God, here come the sheepdogs. Right, go on then, go away you two. They always startle me for some reason. But as I was saying, that's Rosie Dunsfield, or whatever her name is. I mean, congratulations for believing. Well, she didn't believe it, didn't feel right, as she said, on receiving all these perks that she felt it was then taken away from, everything was taken away from the vulnerable, the OAPs and all that, and it was unjust. And do you know what? I totally agree with her. I know she's had a gripe with Stalin in the past, but as we all know, well, there's nothing more you can say about that, man. I mean, it's so obvious, they're so corrupt. I was just watching a tad there, a little bit about the Conservatives and their new leader. I mean, come on, do they really think we're that stupid? Oh, we're going to bring the Rwanda plan back together. We're going to stop illegal immigration. You had your chance, gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen. And you know what? It didn't work. And you're the same cheeks of you're two different cheeks of the same arse, as someone rightly said. So, be honest with that, I think you're barking up the wrong tree with them. And then, what was I going to say? I mean, how long can we carry on with this? I mean, is someone going to intervene? What? Is I mean, we've got the budget to come. I mean, has anyone been asked where all our money goes? I mean, did we get a vote? Did we get a vote to say, look, we're going to give 6 billion to climate change here, 3 billion for missiles here, we're going to give foreign aid to this country? I mean, we're sending foreign aid to countries that are sending satellites and spaceships and things into space. We can't do that, but why are we sending them money? Now, I know that we give out credit cards as well, okay, like the prepaid credit cards, and we give them to like countries like India, Bangladesh, Pakistan. We give them hundreds per month filled up with money, and they're supposed to give them out to their individuals and to help lift people out of poverty. But do you know what? Who's asking us? Why don't they give these prepaid credit cards to our ROPs, our vulnerable? I mean, that's what we need. And then we've got the budget to come. I mean, that's going to be a joke, isn't it? I mean, what have they got in store for us? Because I don't know about you. I mean, a few billion come our way or put our way. How could it improve? It could improve the roads. It could improve social care. It could improve the National Health Service. I mean, the National Health Service is so management top heavy. Honestly, it's going to keel over one day. I mean, I know people within the National Health Service, and the money wasted is totally unnecessary. I mean, it is borderline criminal, to be honest. And I invite everyone to do one of those, what is it called? When you can demand Freedom of Information Act. Yeah, it's something like that, isn't it? Yeah. So, do that on your local hospital, because there's a lot of you out there that got the nut to do that, right? And email them up and do an find out what they're spending their money on. Find how much they're doing with foreign nationals, how much they're spending on translators, how much they're wasting on not stupid renting things. I mean, all our hospitals are being sold off. Then we're getting these big, mad, cheap, like just quickly whipped up industrialised hospitals, and they're not like the old school ones. And in the middle of the sticks, usually, on the outskirts of a city, and then we're renting them back. I mean, I know one hospital in Edinburgh. I mean, they're not allowed to put posters up or proper signs up on the wall, because they're not allowed. It's not part of the tenancy agreement. So where are we going with this? I mean, where is it going to end? And then, I mean, we've got that. I mean, and no one asked permission. No one. And then we've got that. And then we've got that idiot, what's his name? Boris Johnson. I mean, what's he come out and said? I know he's got a book launch. I mean, it's all coincidental, isn't it? But he's got a book launch saying about, saying that COVID did come from a Chinese lab. Excuse me? People were screaming and shouting that from day one. It's so obvious. I mean, we got turned over. They weaponised the flu and they said it about us. But what did we do? Nothing. All that happened when the Tories were in power, let's have it right, you just gave backhanders to all your mates, to the House of Lords, to all the people. I mean, that Hancock, I mean, how he's not in jail. It was something, they put him on I'm a Celebrity. I mean, how could they do that, right? When the man, you know, gave to one of his mates that run a pub, you know, to do hand sanitisers. I mean, it was so obvious, such a blatant criminal act. I mean, that Moan, whatever her name is, the lady in the House of Lords, that is the biggest waste of money ever known to mankind. That is pure privilege. That is pure privilege, and we should have a Freedom of Information Act on what they are getting. And also, we should, as a people, demand that the heating perks that all MPs get stopped also, right? All their perks, all their freebies, and pay for nothing. How can you be on like near enough 200 grand a year and still get perks where you don't pay for your clothes, you don't pay for this? Now I know Kia, you know, all the gear with no idea, Starling. I mean, we all know there's a lot more to your story. And to be honest, if Ali's smashing your back doors in, I don't really care, to be honest. Everyone to their own, but it should be put out there, especially if you're leading the country. You're being compromised, mate. Remember the affair that happened? They made a film on it in the 60s with the MPs. I mean, you're all being dodgy. Every one of you are dodgy, and I don't know. It's just totally it's totally scary. And this Chinese lab thing with Boris Johnson. I mean, come on, mate. You've got to give it a rest. You know what I mean? You talk so much waffle. It's unreal. And then they're talking about the what's it called? The immigrants ain't integrating. Well, I mean, Tommy Robinson, who's been shouting on about that for what? Since 2010? 2009? I mean, so we all know that. It's all common knowledge. I mean, but how can they integrate when we're taking the wrong sort of immigrants? I mean, with these young fighting men, why are we taking them in? They're not integrating with us. They're making life miserable. They're making life dangerous for us. And all you are is imported deadly weapons. And that's what it is. I mean, every crime that's been committed by these people, to be honest, should be every crime that's committed, you should be done for abetting, you know, being part of it. You've allowed that to happen. You've allowed them people to come into this country. So you have been able. You've allowed them to go and commit crimes. So it should be on you, all of you. So you all should be in jail. You know, it's borderline distressing, to be totally honest with you. And then you've got, you know, so we've got all this unregulated immigration, right? We're getting the British that are persecuted. We've got all these immigrants that are anti-Israel as well. I mean, why are we importing people full of hate? I mean, if you come here to live and become part of this society, I mean, can't you please integrate? Can't you leave you're coming here to get away with the aggro, right? So why can't you just leave it at the door, right? If you're invited in, okay, as you've come in legally and you've got a legitimate reason to come here, can't you leave it at the door? Can't we all integrate? Now, who are these people that keep organising these big, massive demonstrations at the weekends? There'll be another one this weekend in London town, right? Now, I know, for instance, there's a group called Love Not Hate, and they're, oh wow, They've been found out by Tommy Robinson so many times. I mean, what they've done to him is totally disgusting, and they still get away with it. They're a total big fraud, and I agree with everything that Tommy says on that one, right, about him and those people. The BBC, all the mainstream media, you're all corrupt. You're all complicit in this, right? Now, what I suggest is, see these illegal males, right? You stop putting them up in the hotels. We've got to demand this, right? We've not voted for this. We're a democratic country, and we're not having you guys telling us that are being getting backhanders. Even the Conservatives this morning, they're getting given like tens of thousands of pounds by donors. They don't even know who they are. For all we know, they could be drug lords, or foreign Chinese or Iranian governments. Well, if it was Iranian, they'd be using the American dollar, wouldn't they? So, when's it all going to stop? I mean, it's got to stop. It is criminal, and sorry about this, but this is my Sunday morning rant. But look at that. Isn't that beautiful, isn't it? You know what I mean? It won't be long before there'll be high rises here and loads of undocumented men strolling around eating our pets, and blasé with the women and children, and nothing could be done. You know what I mean? So sorry about the sniffles. It's a tad bit of the old hay fever, and I've took the tablets, but by God, it does knock the socks off. But I mean, we've got, this has all got to be brought to a vote. We're a democratic society, right? And we've all got to bring it to the vote, right? And that's what I feel on it, right? Now, also, this thing on the 26th, right? I've said this in many of my videos, as you know, right? We all know that TR has been totally persecuted, right? I mean, you'd have to be blind, deaf and dumb, no offence to blind, deaf and dumb people, right, but you would, wouldn't you, to notice that this is not a criminal act. I mean, you're all waking up, even old grandmas now are talking about him and that. So I think it's time that got put right, to be honest with you. I think this court, when they pick in there, because that anti-terrorist charge is completely unfounded, and actually it's quite offensive to a man like that, and it's quite offensive to his supporters to even suggest that, because that is one man that's not anti-terrorist, and he's definitely not anti-British. He's been fighting for the British culture for donkey's years, right? So you've got to stop this, because it's getting so obvious that it's the whole world is seeing. Our American cousins, bless them. That's why I hope Trump wins. Please let Trump. #MAGA. Right? He has got to win. Right? Because we need him to get in here and take control of this and just rout everyone out, because they're all on the take. They're totally destroying our country. All the law and order, knife crime's gone up. You know what I mean? And nothing's being done. So, I mean, when's it? I mean, it's like the Tories now, they're getting this new leader at this conference. They're trying to kiss the life of something that's so flat that it's not going to happen. No one wants the Tories anymore. They're just liars, and they think that we're so stupid that we're going to vote the Tories in. Right? But no, it's not like that. It's the reason the voting system got rigged. Right, so as it's first past the post. When if we'd have had it right and done properly, Reform would have got a hell of a lot more seats, right? And everyone's saying, "Oh, Reform ain't the way," but you know what? Reform is the way at the moment, and Reform have got to stop starting on Tommy Robinson, and Tommy Robinson's got to stop starting on them, and they've got to get their heads and start bloody get around the table and have a chinwag and sort it all out, because influencers and all that ain't going to do it for you, Tommy. You're going to need these politicians, man. And these politicians, you're going to need Tommy, right? And I mean, everyone is supporting Tommy. You look at this march on the 26th, right? It's going to be full of old grannies, black and white people, right? Asians, everyone that wants to be British, Sikhs, Muslims, Hindus, everyone, right? Because they are decent Muslims, man, not these nutty Muslims that are on some form of jihad, right? And they just want to kill everything that's British, right? And you'll see it. They all come together and they will get treated like dirt. They get bullied by the police. They'll put people in there to cause arguments and cause, just they set us up all the time. They do it. It's so obvious. I mean, it's become laughable now. You could do sketches on it. I mean, I bet there are smart men out there and women that are doing sketches on it. So that's that one. As I say, I mean, I don't know what we're going to do. I mean, we've got the Scottish elections coming up soon. And oh my God, they're just as bad as everyone else up here. I mean, we've had that nationalist rubbish that's wasted billions of our money. I mean, what we should be doing is going to the House of Lords. We should be going to those Tory mob, right? And everyone else that was on the take, that has been proven to be on the take, right? And they're receiving money, right? And you can't be doing that when you're in a position of power. So what should happen, they should have their assets seized, right? They should be sacked, their assets seized and given to the public, given back to the public purse. Now, all these billions that have been given out, I call for the government, I call on the government to actually put it to the vote, put it to the working classes, put it to the people. Now, and then we'll see how that goes. But I know that'd be an overwhelming stop giving our money away. And these people that go out on a Saturday and all that, and oh, all refugees welcome. But you know what? That's very well. You know what we should start doing? Is then all these people that are doing that, nick every single one of them, pick them up, take their name and address, and deliver an illegal refugees, undocumented males to their house, and say you pull up with them, and you're going to pay the extra bit. You're going to pay for them. There you are. Don't no grants or no helping them out. Let them put them up. Let them put their children on offer. Because it seems it's the same old mob that, oh, I can't do that, I live in a bedsit. Or I can't do that, I live in social housing somewhere. You know what I mean? So let's see how far they can go. And all you rich newsreaders, because you are sickening as well to watch. You're so biased. Why don't we put them on your street? These Sky presenters that broke COVID rules because they think they're special and above everyone else. And we all know why, because they're in bed with the politicians, right? Why don't you put them up in your spare houses, right? And see how that goes. You know what I mean? Because, it seems to be all right for you whacking them all over the working class and letting them, destroy our estates, jumping into schools. All these men that are pretending to be little boys when they're not, right? So if they're not willing to be proven with your DNA testing and all that, you have got the science and you know that. Half of them lot don't even believe in science. That's how backwards some of these immigrants are. They believe in a Stone Age book. And let's have it. I'm sorry if you find it offensive, but you're going to have to suck it up, Buttercup, because that's what this silly situation we're in at the moment. You know what I mean? And the other thing I don't like about this immigration is, why are they all anti-Israel? I know not everyone likes Israel, right? But why is we inviting people in that are full of hatred for another race? Now, you've got to remember, the Jewish community, where I got brought up, right, Tottenham, there's a place called Stamford Hill, right? And I'm telling you, it could be rough in places, but you know where it was rough? It was rough where the Jewish community weren't living. Where the Jewish community lived, it was law and order. It was peace. It was all right on the streets. There was nothing wrong with them. Why are those guys suddenly being persecuted again, and it's being allowed to happen? Well, don't it make you realise that, like, the mayor of London he's anti-Jewish? You know what I mean? He wants them all gone. You know, the mayor of London is actually anti-British. He represented all the terrorists in the past. He's been up there when known terrorist, fanatics that have been jailed since. He's been up there on speeches on the stand with them. That's a fact. And we've got him as a mayor of London, and look what he's doing. He's just doing, they're building so many houses. but they're building them only for the Muslim community so they could be near their mosques, right? Yeah, that's not right. I mean, what about me? I identify as a Roman Catholic then, right? So I want a house built near a nice church for me, right? And I want to be giving it so that I could be nearer to my church. But that's not going to happen. If I say, me saying now, I'm classed as a racist bigot now. And that's the saddest thing about the whole situation. And it's got to stop. And for the 26th, guys, listen, right? Please, 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 all behave yourselves. As I said, no mask coverings, nothing. Don't give them one little chance to get into you, because they're going to steam into you, and they don't care. They're going to hit everyone. They're going to hit the old people, because that's what they like doing. They're scared of the other lot, but they're not scared of our old grannies and us. Okay, so please, please be careful. I'm worried shitless for you, to be honest, because we know what's going to happen, and then it's going to be the mainstream media are going to do a narrative, and it's going to be put down at the end of the day that Tommy Robinson and co have incited violence and racial hatred, when all they're doing is exposing the truth. Now, we've all got to start speaking about the truth. Now, the leftards, you're off your head. So what I suggest for all the leftards in this communities, right, you got done over by your Labour Party, and that's quite obvious, eh? Right? You really have, haven't you? I mean, come on. Did you vote for all this? Did you expect that your grandma and your grandfather could be freezing to death this Christmas? And the New Year, did you really think that in the winter months? Did you really think that when you was voting for them and screaming for them? When you was thinking about, oh, all refugees welcome, all these illegal men coming in, and they're running around and they're raping the women and the children and animals. God knows what else they're up to, right? Did you think that was all going to happen? Are you all happy with that, are you? Right? Because I want you lot to start taking them in. And if you all start protesting, why don't we just get the planes, right? We've got transport planes. Just herd them all on, right? Because you'll find out a lot of these guys, especially the white ones, the ones with the purple hairdos and all that, and the gays for Palestine, you'll find they come from privileged backgrounds, right? And with that, they've got privileged parents, they're middle class, they've never ever done a day's grafting, they've not done a paper round, they've not done nothing, mate, right? And everything's been given to them. These are the ones that are protesting. Why don't we get them and just throw them out of the country? Throw them out of the country, strip them off their citizenship, and they can go and claim Palestinian citizenship, right? See how easy it gets there. See how much benefits they get there and everything. Because, you know what, people are getting sick of them, and it's getting so stupid. And what I will cry out for, and I'm begging and I'm praying will happen before I cut this video down, is we need Donald Trump to win in America. If he doesn't win, it's been a blatant fix, and then there's going to be trouble ahead. We all know that, don't we? You know, it's so obvious. I mean, the Americans are they're cut from a little bit of a different cloth than us. We take it stiff upper lip crap, right? No bulldog spirit anymore. But the Americans, they're a bit gun-ho, mate. So, and the thing is as well with the Americans, the veterans and the military, the police, the ex-police, they're all with Trump because they're sick of it, right? We're a little bit more being mass infiltrated. I mean, our head of police, and the head of the Met and the commissioners of police, I'm sorry, mate, some of you ain't even earned that uniform. You ain't even done a day on the beat. You've just come out of uni leftard school, right? And you're coming in, and all these working class coppers, the coppers that have done it, been down the Peel Centre, passed out properly, you know what I mean, proud to be, learnt their law, learnt how to do this and learnt that, and all you've done is tied their hands. I mean, every time, the police, we've got young ones running around with machetes. The majorities of them running around with machetes are young idiots. We call them street rats. They're black and whites, Asians, right? But if you stop a copper, stops a black guy, right, it's somehow you've got all these race baiters, i.e. Lammy, coming out saying it's racist. But no, it isn't, right? What we've got to start doing is start you know, certain streets where there's a big knife crime, say South Tottenham, for instance, right? There's knife crime, it's berserk, it's gone out of control. So what you do, you get your biggest and your ugliest coppers, right? Black, white, pink or blue, whatever they are. The biggest, the ugliest. None of your little left-hard ones, right? Ones that get in there, right? And you search and stop and search everyone. Everyone. And I'm talking women, I'm talking children, I'm talking pets, I'm talking blacks, whites, Hindus, everything. Every colour under the rainbow. And it ain't a gay rainbow, right? And let's see, right, what the results will be, right? And then let's see who's the main perpetrator. Because I know that a lot of the boys, they get the girls to carry their stuff. So all the girls need to be stopped and searched. And then just stop one whole area. Go down Wood Green High Road, for instance. Block it off, all entrances. Put the old vans there. Put everyone, not, you know, have the media, invite the media. There was a bloke that was running for mayor. I think he was of Turkish or Greek descent, and he went into that calm. He went into one of these, you know, what, the party political, you know, meetings, and Calm don't like it when you put it on him. He gets all aggressive and he gets all, why are you starting on me? And he pulls out the race cards at first opportunity. But this bloke, he weren't having it. I'll tell you, I wouldn't like to have tried to remove him from the building. Believe me, it was built like a brick shithouse. But you know what? He was an immigrant, of course, but he had integrated, and he was disgusted. He was standing as an independent. He was disgusted with knife crime. But see his ideas for sorting out knife crime, right? They were amazing. And that guy, I'd love to find out what his name was. I mean, if anyone does know what his name was, let us know. But I definitely know he looked like he pumped weights. And I'm certainly, he'd be of Greek or Turkish descent. Or you know, I think that was his nationality or birth, or, you know. But he spoke so much sense. I wanted him to win. And unfortunately, he didn't. But, I mean, why didn't he win? Because he went against the narrative. You know what I mean? And the narrative is, you know, he was saying what everyone else is scared to say. And that is, you know, the majority of knife crime is black on black. I mean, what about the poor black mums? You know what I mean? Do they really give a shit about it being called a race card? Wouldn't they rather their kid that was at home eating tea with them, you know what I mean, or going to church with them? But no, that's not going to happen, because it's just got ridiculous. And you're importing more and more of these gangers in. And they're getting more and more violent. You know, you've got the Somali gangs now. Right? The boys that got brought up in our day, they said when the Somalians come over, it was a different kettle. When they said they're going to kill you, they bloody killed you. So our laddies, they started to get tooled up more, and half the kids are walking around tooled up because they're petrified. Right? Now what we've got to do is knock it out of them. Right? So when I was younger, if you carried a knife, you was known as a tool merchant. Right? And you was frowned upon. People looked upon you like you was a piece of shite, to be honest. So, and you didn't get treated with kid gloves. If someone or some people, they would gang up and they would smash all over the place because they knew you was a tool merchant, and no one would carry a knife, and that's why it was very rare. Okay, but now it seems to be the norm, and it seems to be accepted, and certain individuals think that they can get away with it, and it's totally okay when it isn't. So yeah, so I'm going to leave you with that one, all guys, and I love you all. God bless, and please all enjoy your happy Sunday, and yeah, all be safe and all be whatever. Bye bye.